Today's class is going to be very interesting, and the ladies are going to love it. And the men are going to get guns and either kill me or kill themselves after they hear this class. They'll probably kill themselves. No. Very interesting class. Okay, so I want to preface this class by saying, generally, whenever there was a problem between men and women, who do you think Prabhupada would blame it on?
The man.
The man. Why? Because everybody knows men are smarter than women, right?
Yes.
So I have to speak about something controversial because everyone likes controversy, right? That's how all the talk shows make their money. So let's talk about something controversial. So we just said that Prabhupada always blamed problems on the men because men are supposed to be the leaders and quote-unquote more intelligent. So this question is perpetually asked, what does it mean? Are women actually less intelligent? Are men smarter? And if you ask the women, they'll go, no, the men are stupid. Right, ladies? Oh, those guys are stupid. So Prabhupada was once talking about how these men flatter women and get the women to like them. And then they have sex with them and get them pregnant and disappear. And the women allow them to do that. So that was Prabhupada's description of less intelligent. If, in other words, if you ask me, are women less intelligent? And I'll say, which one are you talking about? And this is how you know. This is your test, ladies, to know whether you're less intelligent or not. If some guy comes and says to you, oh, Alejandra, you're so beautiful. You're so wonderful. Oh, Leslie, such beautiful eyes and nice smile. Oh, Christina, I would give my life to you. But all they really want, all they really love is your body. But you think they love you. And you give them your body. Then you're less intelligent. If you don't do that, you're very intelligent. That's how Prabhupada... So that should end all controversy about are women less intelligent or not. The ones that give themselves to men who don't love them, who believe they love them because the man is nice and speaks nice words, they're the less intelligent ones. And the ones who see through it, they're the smart ones. But the point is, the men aren't supposed to do that. And so, if ever a man does that, and a woman falls for it, she's never to be blamed, because women easily fall for it, because women are, what should we say, they're naturally maybe more trusting. And, or we should say they expect men to take care of them, so they believe that that's what a man's supposed to do. So when a man says, I love you, they believe it, because he's supposed to mean it. Any good man who says that would mean it. So that's why Prabhupada would blame the men. So Prabhupada never blamed the woman, he always blamed the man, because as we say, men are more intelligent than women, right? And then I was defining what it means to be less intelligent, to believe a man when he says, I love you, and I'll give my life to you, and all he wants is just to enjoy you. And you believe that, and you allow him to enjoy you, that's less intelligent. But as I was saying, women's nature is to be submissive, trusting, and she expects that a man is genuine, and so therefore Prabhupada always blamed the men. He said, no, it's your responsibility to take care of the woman, not to exploit her. She'll tend to go along with you because she trusts you. So therefore, the theme of this class is, men, if there's a problem, it's your fault. Okay? Go get your guns. No, don't kill yourself. This is meant to help you. Okay. Now, why do I say this? I had an interesting conversation last night with a woman who has been attending the classes of Bhaktivedanta Swami. for months and months and months. And he talks a lot about how men should act towards women. So I had a question for her. I said, it seems to me that he doesn't talk about how women should be. We spent like at least a month talking about women. And that's so interesting, because whenever you talk about marriage, at least generally in ISKCON, it always falls on the woman. It's always like, well, the woman has to be this and the woman has to be that to be a good marriage. Yes? Mm-hmm. We have a witness here who's in as we say in ISKCON speak, she's in a female body. She's not a woman, she's in a female body. That's politically correct in ISKCON. You say, I'm in a female body, I'm in a male body. And when you have to go to the toilet, you say, I have to service my body. We're going to have to write a book so when new people come, they understand what we mean. Service my body, what? Oil and lube? What's going on here? So, generally, in ISKCON, when you talk about male-female relationships, it's all about the woman has to be chaste, the woman has to be shy, the woman has to be humble, the woman this, woman that, and then you have a nice marriage. And then you have all these examples in Shastra, right? So, you all know the joke. God, when He created the world, He said to the men, I've made women humble and chaste and submissive and sweet, and I put them in every corner of the world. And then He made the world round, and He laughed, and He laughed, and He laughed. You heard that before? Oh, you told me that, yeah. But you didn't say the last part.
I did.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay. And my wife said, no, He created men who were responsible, kind, sympathetic, understanding, loyal. And He put them in every corner of the world, and then He made the world round. So, anyway, this is really important what I'm saying, and the women are going to be very happy to hear this, and the men are going to be, the men's party is over now, because the men thought the whole thing's depending on the woman, because you read Shastra, then you get this idea, okay, what makes a good marriage? Well, you have a chaste wife who's humble and submissive, always in a good mood, and just takes care of her husband. It's just, it's a traditional thing, wife should be good, should be this, that, and the next thing. So I was curious, and we had classes and we talked all about the wife, and not that we shouldn't, that the woman shouldn't know, but I asked this woman, I said, I've never heard Maharaj talk about how the women should be. And I suspected why, but I wanted to ask her. And she said, yeah, he always talks about men. I said, why is that? He said, because if the man is good, the woman will automatically be good. Men, did you hear that? So I have to explain what it means for the man to be good, because now this class is about the Dharma of men. So if the man is good, the woman will be good. So he explains something really interesting. Leslie, I think you'll like this, because it'll show you. I think you'll love this. Go get a cup of warm tea and lay back and enjoy this. What I'm going to say. He said, the woman is female. Krishna is male. A woman is female. We have Prakriti and Purusha. So, woman is Prakriti, which is female, right? You learn that in Bhakti Shastra. Krishna is male. We're all female. But the man has what we call Purusha Bhav. The man, because he thinks he's male, he has that kind of imitation Krishna. Because the man, ladies, you might think you want to control and this and that. The men, it's much stronger. So the men have this enjoyment and controlling nature much more strongly than women. So women they're naturally in the serving mode. They're mothers. You know, it's just like if we have guests in our house, my wife is like a fireman in a fire. She just jumps into action. She can't have a guest without taking care of them. It's just her nature, you know. And every step my daughter takes, she has to make sure that there's the ground is clean in front of her. It's just her nature. It's just to serve, to take care, you know, make everything perfect. So Bhaktivedanta Swami was saying, but the male nature is very Purusha. It's very controlling, enjoying. It takes him a lot longer. It's harder for him. So his point was that if he is a good husband, which means he doesn't flaunt his Purusha Bhav, which means I'm in control, you do whatever I say. Go get my socks. Go, scrub my toes. And this and the next thing. You have to, Marina, you have to actually join Chatsi. Once there's 10 people on here, if you want to get on, you have to join Chatsi. That's what I did. And then you get a place on Chatsi. But I think they're going to want you to pay. So he was saying that the male, he has this very dominant position. You know, he just likes like the woman. But I mean, Prabhupada talks about it. You know, his ego is bigger. He wants to be served. He wants to dominate, and it's really hard for him to just serve and do the things that women will naturally do. You know, women will just naturally, they'll cook, they'll serve it, they'll clean the plates, you know, this, that, and the next thing. It's harder for men. Men they like to go out and conquer and achieve. I mean, not that all women don't, but it's just natural for a man. So he was saying how, for the man as a husband, he needs to take more of the service role in serving the wife, helping her, and being sympathetic to her needs and so forth. And if he does that, he said, automatically the woman, all the qualities you would see you want in a woman, so that she'll be more inclined, or it'll be more natural for her to do that, because she doesn't have to fight with this guy, she doesn't have to compete with this guy. And as soon as there's like competition between the male and female, where the male wants to dominate too much, then the female will start to fight back. And then it'll be harder for her to manifest her natural service nature. And all those qualities we talk about in the Bhagavatam, you don't have to worry about them, because they're inherent in some level. It's just she needs a situation in which they'll just come out. So the husband who's kind, he's not competing with her, he's not putting her down, he's not trying to prove that he's better, he's not trying to control her, but he's trying to be affectionate and help her, that naturally it will come out. So that's his explanation of why he focuses on training the husband, which therefore means that the real success in the marriage relies on the husband, and the husband, to be successful as a husband, really needs to develop or to overcome that Purusha nature, that dominant male nature. And to do what Prabhupada says, and also Bhaktivedanta Swami says, is to manifest activities of affection towards the wife, which means to be kind, to be understanding, to be tolerant with her and so forth, to not be dominant and call her stupid and so many things. You know, why'd you do that? You're an idiot. Don't you have any brain? Why are you so stupid? You can't do anything right. You know, that kind of thing. So then you expect a woman to be a nice, humble, chaste, and the husband's treating her that way. Forget it. It's not going to work. And another thing that psychologists say, and Maharaj had also spoken about this. Kush showed me this yesterday, but the last time she showed me something where Maharaj had said that when you have a confident woman, you have an attentive husband. It means the husband is attentive to the needs of a woman. She becomes very secure and confident. But they've studied in modern psychology. They said that woman's self-confidence is very much connected to a man. So some men make a mistake, this foolish mistake, because of their nature, which is to put their wives down. No, you don't do anything good. Why'd you do that? You're so stupid. Like when we were boys, well, girls can be this way also. But boys, when I grew up, the boys, we used to say, if we do something stupid, we say, where did you get your brain? In a Cracker Jack box? Because we had these things called Cracker Jacks and you get prizes in them. Or we'd say, what happened when they were passing out brains? You forgot to come that day. That boys can be that way. I don't know if girls are like that, as bad as boys. But sometimes I'm with my friends and my wife will see me say something, and she'll say, how could you say that? That's so nasty or unkind. I say, no, amongst men, that's fine, they don't mind. But man to women, women do mind, they don't like that. So men have that nature. So I want to make a really important point. I don't know if I made this point before because my memory only lasts about 5 minutes. And by before I mean last class. But even if I did make it, there's a chance your memory only lasted 5 minutes as well. So I'm going to make this point again, but I'll make it in a different way. This is really important. And if you ever get married, tell your husband this, because it's really important. He needs to know this. Actually, he needs to know it before you get married. And if he doesn't sign on the dotted line to agree to this, kick the bum out on the street where he belongs. Okay, here it is. I must have your attention now. It must be important. This is my realization, Mahatma Das Adhikari's realization. You won't find this in any Shastra, but I believe Bhaktivedanta Purna Swami also has this realization. Here's the problem. Okay, I'll tell you next week. No, I'll tell you now. A man reads the Shastra, and in the Shastra he reads about all the qualities of a woman. How a woman should be, how Ashley should be, how Carolina should be, how Gurnishta should be, how Alejandra, Christina, Sharanagati, how you all should be, and Leslie. He reads how you all should be, and he watches you act, and he goes, nah, they don't have it. Something wrong with Alejandra. She's, Sharanagati, no way. And what to speak if you happen to be married to this guy or think about being married to this guy who's judging you according to Shastra. You're going to have a troubled life with a guy like that. So here's my realization. All the things in Shastra that describe how a woman should act, they're not for the men, they're for the women. And the problem is, the man reads them. And he doesn't focus on the things in Shastra about men, he focuses on the things in Shastra about women, and ladies vice versa. All those things about men are for the men. They're not really for you. They're for the men to learn. And the things about the women are for you to learn. And we get this problem when the woman focuses on all the things in Shastra that says about men, and the men focus on all the things in Shastra about women. Instead of focusing on, they read all the stuff about men, it goes in one ear and out the other. I mean, you're doing good if it even goes in one ear and out the other. Usually it doesn't even get in the ear, right? It goes over the head, right? Isn't it? Guru Nishta agrees. See, I'm pretty smart, aren't I? I figured this one out, right? It only took me 20 years of doing it myself to figure it out, but I finally understood it. It doesn't work that way. It'll never work that way. So Leslie reads Shastra and says, this is how a woman is. And she contemplates, can I do this? How can I do this? What should I do? a man reads, this is how a man should be. He contemplates how I can do that. He doesn't look at Leslie and go, she's not doing it, and she doesn't look at him and go, he's not doing it. That's where it gets messed up. That's where it gets messed up. So then we go back to the point. If the guys do what they're supposed to do, then the women, when they read the Shastra, go, the woman's, she's chaste, she's humble, she's submissive, she does whatever the husband wants, she makes sure he's happy, she nice to the relatives, if he's in a bad mood, she's in a good mood. And the women read this and they go, no way, I could never do that. But when the husband, he does everything he's supposed to do, which means that he's affectionate, understanding, kind, tolerant, loving, and so forth, all of a sudden she finds herself doing those things, even though she didn't believe she could do them. Because why? Because she's so affectionate, she naturally wants to do them, because it's her nature ultimately to do that. You see? And so in the earlier classes, we talked about feminism. And we said that because the men are not men, the women had to become men. And so then the men made it hard for the women to be women. So that's my point. If you want women to be women, then men, you have to become men. And if you become men, the women will become women. But if you become so-called men, and not really men, then you force the women to become men. And then you don't marry a woman, you marry a half man. And you go to, and you want a woman, but she's not a woman because you're not a man. So, therefore, it's all your fault, guys. So, women are innocent. Haribol. Now all the women like me and all the guys hate me. As I always say, I'd rather be liked by the woman and hated by the men. Because if you're not liked by the woman, life could be dangerous. Right, Ashley? As long as Ashley loves me, I'm happy. If Ashley doesn't love me, whoa. But I know she does. So, very important, these 2 points, very important. You focus on the qualities you must develop. So, now, what is one of the most important qualities of a man in relation to a wife, but also in relation to women? Now, it's interesting because if you look at the Hare Krishna movement in general, ladies, how do men treat you? Well, they treat you like you don't exist, or they wish you didn't exist. Or if you do exist, can you go out and make money? Is it? What else? Don't talk, don't bother us, don't say anything like that.
The slave in the kitchen.
Yeah. Do your service and be quiet. And if you complain, I don't want to hear it. Because what you have to say is not important. What else?
So could you be invisible while you do your service?
Yeah, and also be invisible because you agitate all the men. Right? So, welcome to the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare movement. When you chant Hare Krishna too much, that's how you start dealing with women. Oh, Govinda, please save us from our sin. So, ladies, you've entered a movement where this is how men look at you, and then you, in your weaker moments, begin to think you want to marry one of those guys, which could be extremely dangerous. Unless he takes my class and gets certified as a bona fide, deprogrammed Hare Krishna man, ready to get married. Until he's deprogrammed, don't trust him. That's just the unfortunate truth. Everybody says, isn't it true though? Makes a lot of sense, yeah. It does. We have a problem in ISKCON. We take these nice young boys, we put them in the brahmacharya ashram, which is like complete torture for a Western man. The only way they can do it is by praying during japa that women would become invisible. Yeah, we take these nice boys and do all kinds of weird things to them. So, and they lead nice kirtan, give nice class, and you go, ooh, I want to marry him. And then you marry one of these guys who's been chanting japa, praying that women would be invisible. Or at least that you wouldn't have to talk to them, or see them, or deal with them, because everybody knows they're filthy and stupid. Right? Isn't that what we learn? They can take it. Right? They don't mind. They're having a good laugh, right? Because they know it's true. Well, Timothy and Antonio and Jeremy were not fully programmed in ISKCON, so I think they're immune from this, partially. But we'll get on the case of the others that, well, Jeremy was living in the ashram in LA, so he might have got trained up as a bona fide, don't see them, don't talk to them, don't like them.
Wall crawler.
Women, just, they roll good chapatis and they can distribute books, but other than that, they do treat, they just treat us nicely. Okay, so, so all of you guys who are trained that way, or could be trained that way, or who think that way, here's when you're married, then the attitude of the man is one thing. It's only one thing. He only has to think of one thing. And guys are simple. You know that? Guys are not complicated. So we're going to give you one thing to think of. You just have to. And we've had this discussion a lot, and so this is going to throw the brahmacharis for a total loop. You just have to love your wife. Love? There's no love in the material world. What are you talking about? It's just lust. No, you have to love your wife. And we've talked about this. It is your duty to love your wife. That's it. That's all you have to remember. It's just that. It's your duty to love your wife. If you get that, you'll have a great marriage. If you don't get that, whatever else you do, it's not going to work. You can jump up and down, scream and rant and rave for your wife to be chaste and humble and submissive and polish your toenails and all that. Not going to work. All you have to do is love her. So how do you love her? You take care of her. You're nice to her. Wow, what a revolutionary concept in the Hare Krishna movement. Be nice to women. Wow, who thought of that? Amazing, isn't it? Actually be nice to women. Is that, Prabhu, is that bona fide? Is it bona fide to be nice to women? I didn't know that. I didn't read that anywhere. Okay. This lecture, we got to get it out there and get it viral. Get these guys, deprogrammed. They've all been brainwashed in the Brahmacharya ashram. They've been brainwashed in Bhagavatam classes. I see a woman, I spit. Yuck! Stool, mucus, bile. Okay, it's time for a joke. This is a great one, and this is a real life joke. Jeremy's here. Now we have to ask Jeremy, have you been brainwashed in the Brahmacharya ashram to become a bona fide woman dissolver? They don't exist. Don't give them the time of day. Don't talk to them. Don't look at them. They're only good for rolling chapatis and distributing books. If you're a bona fide brahmachari, then you'll get trained up to understand the deeper, profound meaning of the physical body, which is comprised of mucus, bile, air, blood, pus, stool, urine. And by understanding that, you'll never again become attracted to a woman, right? It works every time. Yes? No, it doesn't. Anyway, that's the last ditch effort for the man who doesn't want to get married. He chants the mantra: mucus, bile, stool, urine. Mucus, bile, stool, urine, muscle, flesh, and blood. Stinky, stinky, stinky. Mucus. That's how he tries to remain detached. That's called gyan. But as we know from Shastra, the gyanis fall down. They can't do it. So, one day, two brahmacharis who should make a comedy movie together. We can call it Brahmacharya, it'd be a riot. One of them is from New York. One is from New York. So he was saying, one of them, there was some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman walked by. And he was trying to chant the mucus, bile, stool, blood, pus mantra. So he told his friend, he told the guy from New York, she's just a bunch of mucus, bile, and stool. And he says, yeah, but she's got all the mucus, bile, and stool in all the right places. Would that make a good Brahmachari movie? Oh my God. Yeah, but she's got all the mucus, bile, and stool in all the right places. That's the problem, huh? Okay. So, gentlemen, you have been trained, your brain has been, you have been brainwashed, and Mahatma Das is now trying to deprogram you. I want you to know it's okay to be nice to women. You won't get into trouble. You won't get kicked out of the temple. Don't worry. And if you actually marry one, it's okay to love them, like in being nice and taking care of them and making them happy when they're not happy, when they go up to you and say, I'm not happy, I only have 343 pairs of earrings. Could you buy me another one? You say, of course I'll buy you another one. Whatever you want, you just tell me. That's the real man. That's the real man. And when she says, I have 326 pairs of shoes, but I don't have ones with purple polka dots. We'll go out and we'll find them for you. Let's go shopping. Now, drop everything. That's what you have to do. Now the thing is, gentlemen, you have to know that you have to do that before you get married. Because if you find out after you get married, when you walked into the marriage thinking, I'm going to be the boss of this marriage, and whatever I say, my wife's going to do. And every Friday morning, she's going to polish my toenails. And she's going to do this and that. If she doesn't do that, I'm going to yell at her and I'm going to slap her in the face. And if you're trained to think like that because you're a bona fide brahmachari, you are in for a big surprise, gentlemen. You are not going to be a happy camper. You are going to be miserable, and your wife's going to be miserable, and you are going to fail. Now, it's important, and I probably mentioned this before. Is that you have to make Grihastha ashram successful if you're going to be Grihastha. And of course, if you're not going to be a Grihastha, you don't have to worry about it. You have to worry about the other ashram you're in. Make that successful. But if you're going to be married, you want to make it successful. And what we're saying in this class, the success is largely dependent on the man being a good husband, because the chances are you're going to be, the wife is going to be a good wife if you're a good husband, if you actually love her, if you learn how to love, to be kind, take care, sympathetic, look out, all these things, then, okay, let's look at it this way. Let's say I'm your guru, right? You go, we love Mahatma, he's our guru, right? We'll do anything for him. And I show up at your temple with like 2 girlfriends drinking a beer. You know, are you going to be able to respect me? Now, I want to go back to this other point. So I show up with beer with girlfriends with my headphones on listening to Led Zeppelin. And you go, Gurudev, Gurudev. You have second thoughts about Gurudev, right? But if I come into your temple 2 a.m., I chant 16 rounds before Arti, I could chant another 16 rounds after Mangal Arti. I give a fantastic class. I eat a few pieces of fruit for breakfast, and so on and so forth. Then it's like it's easier for you to respect me, obviously, right? So, gentlemen, ladies, I have to tell you a secret. Men don't care if you love them. They just care that you respect them. And gentlemen, ladies don't care so much about respect. They want respect, but their egos aren't as big as yours, so that's not top on the list. They want to be loved. They want affection. So, guys, you want women to respect you. That's why you go to the gym and lift weights, right? So they'll respect you because you got the biggest muscles on the block. I respect that guy. He's got the biggest muscles on the block, right? Guys want respect. Why do guys sweat it out why do they torture themselves in the gym? If they have fun lifting weights, sweating, they're just thinking about sex when they do that. That's where they get their energy. They want respect. Do guys with big muscles wear tight t-shirts? Yes. I just took some ginger. Excuse me. Do you have could you imagine any reason why they would wear tight t-shirts? So the girls can see their big muscles and go, ooh, ooh. Guys are addicted to respect, and they love it. They thrive for it. It's their air. So, guys, guys, you want respect. We know that. You can't hide it. It's true. And ladies, they want you to respect them, especially if you're married to them. But guys, here's a secret. That's a deep secret. You have to be respectable. Otherwise, those women aren't going to respect you. Women do not respect guys who are not respectable. I can tell you that. I see it every day in my life. They only respect him when they first meet him and they don't know that he's a bum. As soon as they find out he's a bum, they don't respect him, no matter if he's smart, or good looking, he's got muscles or anything. Yes? True? Unless they're really dumb, then they'll respect him. But generally. So, guys, you want respect. It's your lifeblood. So you have to act respectfully. You want your wife to respect you, and then you don't act respectfully. You're bogus, 100% bogus. And you're less intelligent. You say women are less intelligent. When guys want respect and don't act respectfully, they're less intelligent than the less intelligent women, which makes them really less intelligent. Makes them, you guys are double less intelligent. Because you're even less intelligent than the less intelligent women. Right? Now the less intelligent women are more intelligent than you. Simple, simple. Be respectable. Be someone a woman can respect. And what do women respect? Actually, they don't respect big muscles. They respect a guy who's kind and sympathetic and understanding. They don't really respect a guy that talks loud and beats people up. I'll take care of this guy for you. You know, what woman wants to be married to a guy who beats everybody up? Because she'll go, wow, I'm probably next on the list if I say something he doesn't like. Women respect men who are sympathetic, who are kind, considerate, who aren't selfish, who aren't puffed up. Most guys haven't figured that out yet. But I'm trying to help you guys figure it out now, because that's what women want. They like guys who are responsible, who will work and support you, who are kind and understanding, who won't come home and scream and yell and tell you you're stupid and you're an idiot, but will tell you how much they like you and how much they appreciate you and how smart you are and how great you are. Yeah. If you love someone, you respect them, right? So, Timothy shows his love and affection for Carl, and he respects her So within love there's respect, but from the woman's psychology, she needs to feel the love more than respect, and the man needs to feel the respect more than the love. Actually, men don't care if they get their toes polished by their wives. They just want the wives to go up and say, Prabhu, you are so great. And the guy's happy. Then he'll, as I said last week, just tell him he's great, and then he'll wash the dishes and do the laundry. The more you say he's great and smart and powerful, the more dishes and laundry he'll do. It's really simple. As I said, guys are simple. Yeah, Ashley, they're really simple. And you just tell them how great they are. Ashley's going, tell those bums how great they are. They're not. They're bums. Well, Ashley, find one who's not a bum, so you can tell him he's great. Find one who's great, so you can tell him he's great. And then you won't have a problem. You see, guys, Ashley's saying, you have to be great for her to tell you you're great. And if you're not great, she's not going to tell you, because she can't lie to you. So, you understand the principle? Yeah. So, guys, don't ever be so stupid to demand respect without being a respectable gentleman to a woman. It doesn't work. It never is going to work. Now, all the women are sitting there going, oh no, that you're describing my husband. You're describing my boyfriend. He doesn't respect me. He wants to control me, this and that. Yeah, that's... If you're not married, this class is really good for you, because now you know what to look in a man. If you are married, then the next class has to be with a psychotherapist, but you're probably going into depression when you realize this is what your husband is. He's just a big pile of ego. No, I'm sure it's not that bad for all of you, but some of you it may be, and I don't mean to depress you. But actually this class is not for you, it's for your husband. And of course you know, your husband will never listen to this class unless you bribe him with you know what, and we follow four regular principles, so you can't do that. But it's probably the only way you get him to come, right? To listen to this. Honey, would you just listen to this lecture? I think it would really help our relationship. Nah, I don't need it. Our relationship is fine. You know, on a scale of 1 to 10, you ask a man how the relationship is. Yeah, it's about a 7. Ask the wife. Yeah, it's about minus 108. You know, the guys think it's great. The women are like, no way. I should have my own marriage channel, huh? When we get these lectures out on YouTube, I haven't got the last 2 or 3, which are like the real funny ones. They're not out there yet. They're going to go viral, right? And every wife's going to go to her husband and say, if you don't listen to this lecture by Mahatma, I'm divorcing you tonight. You've got till midnight tonight to listen to this. So, if you're not married, these lectures are good for you as a woman, because then you know what to look for in a man, or at least you can say, I won't even think about marrying you unless you listen to this lecture and tell me what you think. And you say, if you listen to the lecture and you say, he is absolutely right, I marry you. And if you say, he is absolutely nuts, I kick you out. Simple, simple. Life Made Easy by Mahatma Das. So, this is for the women. You're supposed to listen to this lecture, so you understand what a good man is. And, as I said earlier, it's not that you don't understand, it's not that I mean, well, I just find a good man, I don't have to do anything. No, you understand what the good qualities are, but you know how much easier it is for you to respect someone who's respectable, how much easier it is for you to be that humble, chaste, submissive wife that you were never trained to be, because you were trained to be equal with a man and compete with them, because you knew they could, you just had to fend for yourself. And then you read the Bhagavatam, and you're supposed to have all these qualities that your mother and father really didn't train you to have. And when you get married, you tell the man, you know, I'm not like one of those girls in the Bhagavatam. But if you have a good man, you'll be like, my point is, every girl deep down, dig deep enough, that's the way she wants to be. She just needs to find a guy who can be kind enough. And then he'll be okay. It's on and off, but I keep saying the same thing over and over again. So hopefully when it's on, you'll hear the part that you didn't hear when it was off. It may be on and off, but Mahatma's right on. Yes? Okay. Well, Marina, it's being recorded, so whatever we didn't hear, we can want to jump off the cliff. Yeah, before you jump off the cliff, talk to a therapist. No, you just Ashley wants to jump off the cliff because she realizes that Krishna there's no men left like I'm describing. No, they may not be left, but they can be trained. They can be trained. It may take them a while, but they can be trained. But you see, the men have to learn this because they don't know this. Some know this. Some are smart. They know this. But the brainwashed, the brainwashed Hare Krishna bona fide, certified brahmachari, they need to hear this because and Prabhupada said it, my disciples do not make good husbands. And I'm revealing why. Why they don't make good husbands. Because they weren't trained properly. You see, brahmachari training means that everything you learn as a brahmachari is what is going to help you in life. Whether he is going to get married or not. But that's what brahmachari training is. And brahmachari training in ISKCON is just training you to remain brahmachari, which outside of India 99.9% don't. So it's like, why do you want to train them to remain brahmachari when they don't? Why don't you train them how to be grihastas because they're all going to get married? But nobody thinks like that. Generally they don't. So they get trained to be bona fide ISKCON, certified women-hating, women-avoiding, women... maybe they learn a mystic city where you can look at a woman and she dissipates your vision. You don't see her. Wow, that'd be really good for maintaining brahmacharya life. You just look at a woman and she vanishes. You don't see her. So that's not the real world. Anyway, so women, beware. So women, beware of what, I hate to be so truthful, but after 44 years in ISKCON, this is what there are also very nice men, very, very nice men who get trained this way, and they don't know how to be good husbands because they think they're supposed to be rough and tough and everything depends on the wife. So, now ladies, I've said everything depends on the husband, and I've given you ways that you can, if you want to get married, you can find a good husband. But you should think, as I've said many times, you should think it depends on you. You shouldn't think it depends on him. That's how the man has to think. Now, for you, the man, he's meant to show affection and love. And so you need to act in a way that he can love you. And so don't make it hard on the man to love you by not reciprocating with the affection that he shows you when he shows you it. But the more you reciprocate with the affection by respecting him, respecting his opinion, you see women, when you argue with men, they don't like it. They don't like to be argued to. The CEO of Citibank comes home and his wife argues with him. It's hard for him, It's like he's got 10,000 people who will jump as soon as he says anything and she argues with him. It's hard. So men don't like good men. You can talk to them nicely. You can, and you should talk to them if they're doing something wrong. I'm not saying you don't, but arguing to doesn't work for them. Men like to be supported in what they're doing. They like you to be interested in what they're doing. They really like if you help them in what they're doing, they love that. They're just like, ooh, that gives them goosebumps. So, so you need to understand that. And when you do those things, you become more lovable to them. Of course, you nicely take care of them, but that respect thing is really important. They like to be respected. They like that you're interested in what they're doing. They like to be supported. They like to hear from you, that you appreciate them. That's just how they are. And they like you to be loving so that they can love you, you know. So you go buy, they buy you a pair of earrings and you go, those earrings are ugly, why'd you buy those? You have no taste, you're useless. Just don't buy me any earrings anymore. You can't do that. You have to wear them even if they're ugly. It's just what you have to do. You have to allow them to love you. And when they try to show affection, you have to accept it, even if it's difficult. That's your service to them, because you don't want to make their service to you difficult. And as we've said many times, and guys, you don't want to make your wife's service to you difficult, so you want to be a respectable person that they can respect. So that's how it works. And if you do that, you live happily ever after in Goloka Vrindavan. Don't worry if you have nightmares thinking about, do you mean I have to live happily ever after with that guy? You mean I have to live happily ever with her? No, you don't have to. You get to go back to Godhead in a new body. Now, if you become a Mormon, then you have to live happily ever after with your whole family and your dog. Fido comes, Grandma comes, the whole clan comes. So if you're really attached to your family, then I suggest you become a Mormon. But you become a Hare Krishna devotee, don't worry. If you're not 100% compatible with your wife or husband, you won't have to live for them forever. To my knowledge. Or if you live with them forever, you won't know, because you'll have a different form. So, now, that's a joke. Should we think, well, perfection of married life is that we don't have a good marriage, so that's another urban legend in ISKCON. Well, it's really good if you don't have a good marriage, because you never get attached. Well, if you're very advanced and both of you like that you don't have a good marriage, I would say, yeah, if you're happy. Yeah, my husband and I, we don't get along. It's great. You know, we live in separate rooms. We don't talk to one another. We are completely detached. It's fantastic. If that's how you feel, more power to you. But that's not how most people feel, and definitely women don't feel that way generally. And so that's not the goal. Usually, if you're not advanced and you think that way, you usually get divorced and marry someone else because you are missing having a good relationship, and you were frustrated with your wife and you thought you were renounced, but actually you weren't. You were just, a few years later, you find the woman who you wanted your wife to be, that your wife could never be, and then you get attached to her. So you were detached from one woman, but not detached from all women. You were frustrated with one woman that made you think you were detached from all women, but when that other one woman showed up, who wasn't like the one woman you were detached from, but who was nice to you, then you think, oh, I'd like to marry her. You understand? So, actually the goal is that you have a good marriage, and you get along, and you serve Krishna together, and you're happy, and that way you don't think about that other woman. Does that make sense? Okay.